Hey people of the VC, it's Andy, Cloudy and Milder. Going to do another collection flick through for you today, similar to my the one I did a couple of weeks ago with going through my original 80s vinyl collection. What I've done for you this time is I've pulled out every album I have from 1984. I picked 1984 because it's a real kind of it's when a lot of the metal subgenres, rock subgenres, started to really started to separate from each other and become their own distinct thing. We've got the new wave of British heavy metal is waning, it's on the demise, although there's still some good albums coming out. Thrash metal has just started. The hair metal scene is kicking off. The whole US metal is getting really big, and there's some great albums that came out. So I've got about 50 to 60 odd albums to go through. I will change the camera angle a little like I did before. I've put them all into a box. This is not how I normally store my records. I don't store them by year. I would never remember or find anything if I did that. But let me know what you think in the comments. I don't have everything. There's probably some absolute classics that I'm missing, so you'll have to you can rib me about that, but also maybe there's some more obscure ones that you think would be fit really well in a collection like mine that you can tell me all about in the comments below. One thing I will say is, because I've already filmed that flick through, I'm going to stick at the end, is one of the albums I describe as I think it's so bad that it's good. I actually meant the cover, not the album. I think the album is absolutely superb stuff, but I won't spoil it now and tell you what it is, but I wanted to correct that before I get into it. Anyway, changing camera angles, enjoy the flick through, tell me what you think in the comments. Thanks to all the new subscribers that I've got in the last week or so. Great to have you on board, and see you again soon. Accept, balls to the wall. The debut Anthrax album. This is one of my original 80s collection, Fistful of Metal. Beautiful Relations pressing. Armoured Saint, The March of the Saint, killer album. John Bush, of course, went on to Anthrax. Now, this is a fairly recent reissue. This is Avenger Bloodsports. They are a new wave of British heavy metal band. It's a good album too. Back on Black reissue. A second album from Battle Axe. Get the heavy metal grasp going a bit strong there. Got another UK metal band. Blackout, Evil Game. I think these are a Belgian band or a Swiss band. What we call Chateau. Very English sounding band, don't you think? Firepower. A great new wave of British heavy metal on Ebony Records. A few Belgian bands in here on Mausoleum Records. This is Crossfire, See You in Hell. There's the Mausoleum label. Fantastic label, that. Dio, Last in Line, needs an introduction. Japanese metal here. This is Tokyo by Earthshaker. It's sort of half studio, half live EP. I think that might be their introduction to the UK market. This is also from 1984 as well. Of course it's from 1984. Midnight Flight, Earthshaker. This is Sweden's first rock metal export, I think, before Europe. Easy Action. Fact with As a Matter Of. Can't remember where these guys are from. Let's look at the names. Probably German. Yeah, Germany. Earthshaker, another Mausoleum release. Fast Eddie Clark's Fastway, all fired up. Great lively album, that. Where are these guys from? FN Guns, Nightmare. I think this might be another Belgium band. It's on Mausoleum again. I think they're Belgium. Glory Bells. Century Rendezvous. I got this as a VCLT from John Bitbot Boone when I was out in the States and met up with him and a couple of other guys. Great album. Would be a fantastic album if it wasn't for the saxophone on it as well. Enough said. Some more VCLT. There's a few in this batch, so I hope I remember them all. If not, I do apologise. This is Grim Reaper, See You in Hell. Got this copy from Darcy. Hazard. So this is Herman Frank from Accept. Debut album, self-titled, again on Mausoleum. The UK's supposed answer to Van Halen, Hell and Back, The Big H. This was their second album on Neat Records, I think. Yeah. This was a VCLT as well from Chris, Final Transmission. Doesn't really make videos, or if he does, very often these days. Good American metal. Further back. The classic 84 release that everybody knows, obviously, Iron Maiden, Power Slave. It's a UK pressing. Jack Starr, originally of Virgin Steel. This is Out of the Darkness. Now, this album looks like it's going to be some sort of blues rock album, but it's very much a heavy metal album. Bit of a supergroup as well. It's got Carl Kennedy from the Rods on drums, Rhett Forrester, Riot on lead vocals, Jack Starr obviously of Virgin Steel, and Gary Bordolino with the Rods as well. And Gary Driscoll, Axe of Rainbow, does some drum tracks too. Killer album though, probably my favourite Jack Starr album. Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith, a lot of people's favourite Judas Priest album. I probably agree with that as well. I bought this copy in a really small town. I think it was called Old Spring in Texas. Middle of nowhere, found a record shop. I found a copy of Defenders of the Faith. More Belgian metal. This is Killer and Shockwaves. Mausoleum. A couple of clunkers now, I think. Crocus, The Blitz. Yeah, probably my least favourite Crocus album that I've got, and I've got quite a few now. Ballroom Blitz is enough to put anybody off. That album, Legs Diamond out on bail. I was late to the party with Legs Diamond, and I picked the wrong album, and I picked it because I was very much collecting the Music on Phonations releases, and this will be one of the first out the door when I come to curate my collection. We Reserve the Right, Madam X, absolutely classic 80s metal cover. You cannot beat that. Maniacs, a UK band, I think they're UK anyway, but this is a Canadian Banzai pressing, one of the few Banzai records I have. The Canadian version doesn't have blood on the teeth. The UK version had blood all over the teeth, so clearly the Canadians are very squeamish about things like that. 1984 was a good year for Manowar. We've got Hail to England and Side of the Hammer. I think this is this the one that's got Orson Welles on it? I don't remember. Maybe not. Some more VCLT. I think they've got this one from Jim Davies. Still got the note in there. Metal Church's debut album, 1984. A lot of people's favourite Metallica album, Ride the Lightning. This is a Music for Nations UK press. Not my favourite, but a fantastic album nonetheless. Queensryche, The Warning. I cannot pick up and say that title without my head thinking of Metal Mickey singing The Warning in one of our collaboration videos. That was a lot of fun. Quiet Riot, Condition Critical. Not a huge fan of Quiet Riot. Some of the earlier stuff is alright. This is probably where I drop off. Rat Out the Cellar. Pretty cool stuff. To the I thought this was Music for Nations. That's an Atlantic pressing, but UK pressing as well. And I think the last from this batch is Raven, Live at the Inferno, a great double album. I've actually got got a US pressing of this as well. This is a UK pressing. On Neat, is it? Yeah, on Neat Records. There we go, that's batch one. Right, final half. The Rods, Let Them Eat Metal. One of those albums that is so bad it's good. VCLT that I got from Greg the Egg Blackmore Rules. Saint Warriors of the Sun. It's an EP, isn't it? 6-track EP. Pretty good traditional heavy metal. Samson, Last Rites. This was after old Bruce had left, obviously. A couple of Saxon albums. Crusader. This is the UK gatefold. The original merch item as well. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that, as we say. Saxon, Strong on Metal. I might not know this one though. A compilation of the Carrera tracks. Scorpions, Love at First Sting. Slayer, Live and Dead. It's just the black vinyl version, not the picture disc. Sterling Cookforce, another So Bad It's Good cover, Full Force. Cover is, you may think the cover's dodgy, but it's better than the music. I think Hit and Run, the first track, is really good, but the rest of it is a bit lame. Mighty Tank, Honor and Blood. Tokyo Blade, Night of the Blade. It was starting to wane a bit by then, I think. So this is 12th Night. This was me again, falling victim to buying things because they were on Music for Nations rather than buying things because they were any good. It's quite sort of progressive, a little bit weird. It's not really metal at all. This is Art and Illusion, studio album. The last one was a live album by them. Recent addition to the collection. You might have seen it in a recent video. Twisted Sister and Stay Hungry. A couple of compilations from '84. Music for Nations, Hell Comes to Your House. Good compilation, but this is probably the worst sounding record I have in my collection. It just crackles all the way through. Really need a decent copy of it. We got Man of War, Exciter, Anthrax, Earthshaker, Hellion, Loudness, Metallica, Hellstar, The Rods, Tsunami, Earthshaker, and Alaska. Good comp, but it just sounds terrible. This is another comp. This is strictly for connoisseurs, and it's again, it's Music for Nations, and it's not a great compilation. These are basically bands that they were trying to get some traction in the UK, I think, but they were all kind of too late to the party. There's I've not even heard of too many. There's Joe Perry I've heard of, Max Webster, Stars, Angel, Moxie, Tantrum, Legs Diamond. Yeah, it's just not really. It's not. It's of its time, but it's it was all dated stuff by the time 1984 came along. UK thrash metal, which has really got a punk edge to it. This is Warfare. They used to be a punk band. This was produced by Kronos. Produced by Kronos. It came with a 7-inch single. It's produced by Algie Ward from A Tank. That's right. Yeah, and it's got a free 45, original 45 with it as well. Pretty good stuff. Got a few Warfare albums now. Wasp, debut album. Everybody knows that. Warlock, Burning Witches. A bit more raw, less melodic than some of the later Warlock stuff you may be familiar with. Fantastic EP from Wasted. This is probably the best thing they put out. 5-track EP. Brilliant. This is not so brilliant. This is Wendy O. Williams' attempt to cross over into metal, heavily influenced by Gene Simmons and members of Kiss. Paul Stanley's on here, Eric Carr. Yeah, but it's not a good album, in my opinion. Witchfind, Lords of Sin, and people. So Wolf, this is a UK band, but it's on Mausoleum. Mausoleum are a bit of a sort of second-rate metal bands that couldn't make it anywhere else, went to Mausoleum. It's a really good album, UK band. It's got a recent reissue, I believe, Edge of the World. Well worth getting. Good one to have in the collection. The start of the small and not so perfectly formed UK glam metal scene. This is Wrathchild and Stack Attack. Mostly I see people showing copies of this with red title and red band name, but mine's in the green version. Lovely set of boys, those. And last but not least, Yngwie J. Malmsteen's Rising Force. Bit of a shredding at the end, a bit of poser shredding at the end. Okay, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if you want to see another year from the 80s from my collection. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.